not only made the conscious decision to put ads on this video in contradiction of their own statement, they've also decided to trend it #1. This is called selective enforcement.
YouTube is a phenomenal platform that gives people all around the world the opportunity to make a living based off their online content. However, many content creators have started to call out the platform for many reasons, with anger and disappointment being common emotions that a lot of creators face when dealing with the platform. And today on IO, I'm going to be giving you the scoop on the top 10 YouTubers that called out YouTube when it was needed. Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Mackenzie Smith, and before we get into it, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow our socials below. And as we all know, YouTube is massive, currently being the world's second largest search engine, and being owned by the first, Google. But with great power comes great responsibility, and some creators might say that YouTube has let them down in the past. Okay, so now without further ado, let's get into that juicy list. Starting off at number 10, Meghan Rienks. A few months ago, YouTube as a whole was shocked to learn that an OG creator, Meghan Rienks' vlog channel had been hacked and rebranded, and YouTube was doing absolutely nothing about it. She describes in a few very long videos how she woke up one day to the passwords for the accounts and the emails associated with them being changed, with her no longer able to get into her second channel, which was a vlog channel with over 500,000 subscribers. After speaking with YouTube directly for weeks and getting nowhere, she decided to take her issue online so she could tell her fans directly what was happening. In the video, she broke down how her channel was clearly hacked and rebranded to another channel called Beauty Dior. And even though she had plenty of proof of this, YouTube did nothing other than make her run around in circles. She was even vocal on Twitter, angrily tweeting out, quote, "Are you kidding me, YouTube creators? My channel has been hacked, rebranded, and they're uploading content. WTF." She wrote in a tweet that was since received over 14,000 likes and sparked a discussion among outraged followers. And only after other massive creators like Shane Dawson and Gigi Hadid got involved on her behalf is when YouTube assigned real people to her case and got it somewhat resolved. And after the whole debacle, YouTube claims to have changed its systems, but it definitely got a lot of creators second guessing how much YouTube will care about you if you're not a big star. In at number 9, H3H3 Productions. Ethan Klein of H3 Productions made a scathing video against YouTube back in 2017 called "YouTube's Rules Don't Apply to Everyone." In the video, he highlighted the hypocrisy of YouTube's policies for advertisements, giving one example dealing with the tragedy in Las Vegas. Casey Neistat ended up making a video discussing it and saying that all the proceeds from the video would be donated to a charity supporting the cause. But then Casey called out YouTube when his video was hit with the limited ad symbol, meaning the video is going to make little to no money. In a response on Twitter, YouTube stated that they don't monetize videos on tragedies like that one, no matter the intention. But clearly that was a lie, because Jimmy Kimmel ended up doing a great monologue on the event, and not only did the video trend, but it had multiple ads on it, clearly pointing out that it seems that YouTube favors late night hosts over its own creators, which is something YouTubers did not like. It doesn't seem like YouTube has gotten any better with this, as even on this channel we get demonetized for things that late night hosts get to speak about freely. So maybe this one needs to be brought up again. In at number 8, Philip DeFranco. Philip DeFranco has been around on YouTube for years, and one of my favorite things about him is his willingness to call out YouTube when it's needed. This was the case back in 2018, right after the Logan Paul Japan scandal went down, and Phil made a video doing a deep dive into how this video got so much traction, when it violated so many of YouTube's terms of service. In the video, DeFranco calls out the fact that Logan's video got to #1 on the trending page of YouTube, even though the thumbnail literally had a dead person in it, and then calling out the fact that millions of people had seen the video before Logan decided to take down the video, not YouTube itself, even though Phil was confident that it would have been flagged multiple times. But Phil is not even close to the only person that has spoken up about the trending page before, with H3 Productions calling out the company also, telling them to cut the BS and stop lying to people about the trending page, when we can clearly see that it's just a place where YouTube promotes what they want people to see, not what's actually going viral. And at number 7, PewDiePie. If you guys watched the YouTube Rewind back in 2018, you definitely remember how much of a disaster that it was. As soon as it was uploaded, it was already getting massive amounts of hate, with tons of commentators bringing up the fact that it was cringy and felt the politically correct version of the platform YouTube wishes that it was, not what YouTube actually is. With the video currently being the most disliked video on the platform of all time, with 18 million dislikes. The video is also heavily criticized for excluding key moments of the year, like the PewDiePie vs T-Series battle, as well as Shane Dawson, who was loved at that time, and David Dobrik not making an appearance. Then there was further disdain that key YouTube stars were not included, but late night hosts were instead, and the YouTubers that were included are either moving away from the platform or just aren't as relevant as they once were. This led to tons of massive creators including Casey Neistat and PewDiePie to make a video speaking of why Rewind missed the mark and what YouTube can do about it. And as a result, Rewind has been completely restructured and now looks more like a Watch Mojo video. And at number 6, smaller creators. There have been many versions of Adpocalypse on the platform over the years, but in 2018 a new iteration of that was born. And that was massive changes to the partner program that did not allow new creators to monetize their videos until they had 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. And YouTube described this as a way to better control the videos that ads would be placed on, in an effort to keep advertisers happy. But YouTube got a lot of backlash from small creators for this, as these new rules, especially the 4,000 watch hours, seemed somewhat excessive, and it made it seem like YouTube only cared about keeping their largest creators happy, while small creators were made to struggle and make even less money than they were before. Halfway through number 5, news and drama channels. YouTube is well known for demonetizing and removing videos that they don't feel should be on the platform, even demonetizing videos when they think that one word couldn't be considered not completely PG. And if you're a longtime fan of the channel, you'll know that we definitely have had to deal with that before, with us bleeping words out or not being able to say the thing that we're actually talking about, instead kind of dancing around the subject instead. And one of the worst instances of this was when the coronavirus started to happen, and even though it was the most talked about thing in the world, if any variation of words were said about it, the video would get limited ads. This infuriated people more when late night hosts and news channels would post videos of them talking about the virus, and they would be completely monetized, showing a clear double standard. Thankfully, YouTube has loosened that now and we are able to speak more about the virus, but the amount of censorship in general has caused a lot of creators to want to move to a new platform with less censorship. And at number 4, Alisha Marie. YouTube burnout is something that is becoming more and more common with creators, as YouTube's algorithm pushes creators to upload as much as possible in order to grow, and punishes them when they have even the slightest skip in uploads. And this constant need to make more content in order to stay relevant pushes YouTubers to an unhealthy place, with YouTuber Alisha Marie shocking her fans when she announced a break on all her channels, saying that she needed a break because she was creatively drained. YouTube's biggest star PewDiePie has also spoken about this, telling Insider it's hard to know when to pump the brakes, continuing, quote, "When you're blessed with many opportunities, it's hard to say no, and you can easily find yourself with too many obligations to keep up." Alisha Marie finished off her conversation with Engadget, saying that she would have to walk away from the platform if processes of creating did not improve on some level from YouTube. And at number 3, Marques Brownlee. In 2018, YouTuber MKBHD or Marques Brownlee made a video called Dear YouTube. In the video, he speaks of how YouTube is an amazing place, but some things the platform has done has withered away his trust of the platform. And this video is the result of a straw breaking the camel's back. In the video, he speaks of the platform's lack of transparency when they are making changes, and cites one example where the company took away custom thumbnails on millions of videos in an experiment, but didn't tell the creators if this had happened to their videos, then giving a suggestion for the future where creators can opt out of these experiments, so career creators won't be harming their business. Then adding that he wishes in the future that YouTube would err on the side of over-communicating, rather than the under-communicating that they've been doing. And at number 2, kids content creators. Last year, the FTC came down on YouTube for not protecting children enough on the platform, but instead of doing more to change the platform, they instead put the blame on creators, now making creators directly responsible to the FTC if they are found to be uploading content that violates the new rules. And it's even worse for creators, because the verbiage of kid-directed versus kid-attractive isn't really that clear, and it's hard to know if you're violating guidelines. Children's advocacy groups like Common Sense feel that the rules don't go far enough, and that placing most of the burden on creators rather than YouTube itself won't do enough to protect kids online. However, these rules are consistent with what YouTube is required to do under this settlement order. Susan Wojcicki, the CEO of YouTube, acknowledged that the changes won't be easy for creators, saying they, quote, "will have a significant business impact on family and kids creators," adding this won't be easy for some creators and they're committed to working with them through this transition. And now, because of these harsh rules that have hit gaming content particularly hard, many creators are thinking of switching platforms in favor of one that will protect them more from the FTC. And finally, number 1, everyone for being too corporate. The major thing that YouTube gets called out for on the daily from practically all YouTubers is how corporate the platform has become, with the platform originally being for outsiders to share themselves online, but now becoming a place for major celebrities and late night hosts to get even more publicity. And the worst part is that YouTube is supporting these new creators over their true original creators, making it very evident that the platform only cares about becoming kid and advertiser friendly instead of actually being an innovative place for content creation like it used to be. This has caused a lot of OG creators to reconsider the platform unless they fit into this advertiser-friendly mold, with massive creators like David Dobrik, the FaZe Clan, Keemstar, and even PewDiePie being fed up with the disrespect that creators face from the platform on the daily. Alrighty everyone, that's all for this list today. Let me know what you're thinking about all this below. Do you think the fact that so many creators are outraged with the platform is going to lead to its demise? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that below. But before I head out, I'm going to shout out some comments from my video on the Jake Paul fight being delayed. So Patricia said, "Who cares? I still love Mackenzie, but tired of hearing about this match. This is not going to be an actual match, and Jake Paul is becoming more and more irrelevant. Yeah, I was so shocked when I learned that it wasn't even a real match. Like, it's literally just an exhibition fight where no cuts are allowed. It kind of seems like a very strange event for even Mike Tyson to be competing in. Just kind of strange all around, but guess it is what it is. Then Olivia said, Jake has too many chips on his shoulder for anyone to want to work with him seriously. Agreed, I think they took a massive risk even letting him on that card, and now they might be second guessing that. Then Life with Kaylee said, wait, I think the real story here is that Mike Tyson is boxing again. Agreed, the last time he fought was back in 2005, so it is really crazy. I'm really excited to watch it. Okay everyone, that's all for me today. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way here, I really appreciate it. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram to be kept up to date with all the news and tea you'll ever need to know. And I'll see you on the next one.